If you have a goal that you're excited about, then you have to do this. You have to step into the person that you know that you are meant to become. And I can promise you, no matter what else you try, if you ignore that pull of excitement, that calling within you, you will not feel truly happy. I believe you will not feel like you are living the life you are meant to live until you are able to align your inner drive, your inner excitement with the actions that you're taking every day. And once you align those two, then nothing that anyone else says or does can stop you. Welcome to The Joy Within. I'm Kyle Greenfield, and I believe that you have the ability to become calm, confident, and happy anytime that you choose. Some days, that's easier than others, but with the right tools and the right way of thinking, we can unlock incredible states of joy, peace, and well-being within us. So visit thejoywithin.org to get started today, so that together we can create a happier and more peaceful world. Hey guys, real quick before we begin, it's that time of year where it's easy to have fallen off track a bit from where you thought you should be. So if you're ready to step into September and make a final push to really drive forward with your goals this year, then we should chat. We can build back some of that energy that you might have had a few months ago. We can see through the hurdles that feel like they're looming. And we can get you on point so you feel clear, confident, and excited each day. Just head over to thejoywithin.org/coaching to schedule a call with me to get started. Now, back to the podcast. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Joy Within's podcast. We are stepping into September now, and I know for me, I always feel like the beginning of September is an unofficial reset. It always feels like it's the start of the last big push towards the end of the year, and I always use this time to remind myself of the goals that I've set, the reasons why I'm excited about them, why I have to do them, and really to tap back into my sense of inner purpose and drive and passion that maybe I've lost just a little bit of as the years progressed. And I've been thinking about this a lot this past week because my wife came home from the office the other day, and it was the first kind of grim day in a while, cloudy, a bit wet, and someone had said to her, really depressingly, well, I guess that's the end of summer then. And it just had this sort of vibe of, well, what's the point? I mean, come on, we just have to get through this. And even just hearing that, I was like, wait, what? I cannot believe that we allow ourselves to slip into that state. And I say that even knowing that it happens to each and every one of us, myself included. There are so many days when it feels like we just go through the motions. But we cannot allow ourselves to do that. And so today, I want to share some of the things that I do that help me to rekindle my sense of purpose when it wanes. And my hope is that today's episode is particularly inspiring for you. It is so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day of our lives, or to feel knocked out when we face setbacks or unexpected hurdles that we have to overcome. And I just think it is so important to actively reignite our passion every single day. We have to be deliberate about this. I know for me, when I actively do this, when I deliberately try to rekindle my inner spark, I feel more engaged, more alive, and just generally happier and more on point throughout the day. And when I don't, I tend to feel a bit sluggish and just sort of off, not myself. I believe that sense of just getting through the day, just going through the motions, just hanging in there, is one of the absolute worst feelings in the world. Because it's so deceptive. It's one of those states that, you just feel okay. So it's not bad enough that you're that motivated to go change it. And I think it's normal that we have some of those days. We all just feel kind of meh sometimes. But when we have too many of them, when they start to add up, I think they stack against us. And we begin to feel stuck or worn down. And it's just that feeling that every day saps just a little bit more of your energy. It takes a little bit more out of you, and gradually, imperceptibly at first, that chips away at our dreams. It makes us think that we are not meant to do the things that we know we can do. It makes us think we're not worthy of becoming that person that we believe we can be. So I believe that we have to actively counteract that pull. We have to actively reassert to ourselves that yes, absolutely, our dreams are possible for us. Our goals are unfolding exactly as they should. Even when we are smack dab in the middle of something that seems to contradict those goals. Even when we are staring at all of the reasons why we cannot reach them, especially when we're in those periods. And I believe it is absolutely essential that we are able to do this for ourselves, because no one else is going to go do it for you. And I believe, absolutely, that we all deserve to be, do, or have whatever it is that we choose. We can create anything that we feel inspired to. So long as we cultivate that inspiration within us and know it to be true, long enough to witness it unfold in the world around us. I believe that we all deserve to feel outrageously happy and fulfilled pretty much all of the time. And again, don't get me wrong, I have my share of bad days. But when I do, I take whatever time I need to reawaken from them. And I think we just need to remind ourselves of that. So if you've just been on autopilot, just going through the motions recently, maybe you've been a bit meh, let this be that reminder for you. I honestly think that often, just knowing we need to do this, knowing we need to take that time specifically to build momentum behind our goals, is a huge first step. Because if we are aware that, okay, so when I feel kind of meh, when I feel like I'm just hanging in there, that's when I need to reset and reinforce my vision, then just knowing that will help us not to have that feeling of being chipped away at. It helps us to stay in a higher state. So we're not waking up in the morning thinking, oh God, what do I have to do today? But instead, we feel eager and excited for the day. There are two keys that I use to help me maintain that excitement. One is a mental frame, a way of thinking, and the other is a practice. And I find that when I put these two together, they create a surge of energy and enthusiasm within me. So if you have a goal that you're excited about, then you have to do this. You have to step into the person that you know that you are meant to become. And I can promise you, no matter what else you try, if you ignore that pull of excitement, that calling within you, you will not feel truly happy. I believe you will not feel like you are living the life you are meant to live until you are able to align your inner drive, your inner excitement with the actions that you're taking every day. And once you align those two, then nothing that anyone else says or does can stop you. I know that's a bold claim, and I know we often feel like we can't get into that state. But within the idea of this is the first key. It's the ability to know deeply that you do not need any evidence from the world around you in order to motivate yourself. You do not need anyone else's permission. And actually, if you're in the early stages of working towards a goal, or if you're still refining, still clarifying what dreams feel exciting for you, then I often think it's best not to share that with anyone, even people that you love and are close to you, people you know want the best for you. Because when you're in that early stage, the momentum, the energy behind your dream, your degree of belief in it is likely to be very weak. And that's okay, that's normal. And sometimes the people that we love will talk us out of it, not meaning to. They often mean well. They're trying to help us. But they reflect their beliefs about what is possible for them, or what they think that you should do, come into their supposed support of us. So I think you have to own that whatever your excitement is, it is your vision, not theirs. And you have to know that they will not see it in the same way that you do. You have to build the momentum behind it first. You have to own it. You have to become it yourself first. Only then will it become evident to other people, not because of anything you say, but because of the person you have become in the process. But even before you build that momentum, and to be clear, I'm talking about inner momentum here, inspiration, not outer progress. So before you even start to grow that feeling within you, I think one of the keys is being able to look at the world as it is and not let what is get in the way of what is coming. And I know that's one of those things that's easy to say, hard to do. I know it is hard if you've been working towards something for a while and you're not seeing progress, if you're not where you thought you would be. It is hard to look at that and not let it drag you down. So the way I think about this has two pillars. The first is that what is past energy. It's done. It's meaningless. It's representative of who you were, choices that you made, actions that you took or didn't take in the past. And that has nothing to do with who you choose yourself to be today, the goals that you set for yourself today, the state of being you embody today, the actions that you take today. And you have to understand that the past has absolutely no power over you unless you give it that power. And when we feel worn down, we are giving the past a negative power. We think things like, oh, but I've tried so hard, I've spent so much time and so much money on this, and I'm still only here. So we color the way that we experience this moment by assigning judgments to past actions, past events, past assumptions about where we think we should be, what we think should have happened. And all of that saps our ability to just be where we are and take action from this moment. Hey guys, so I know it can take some time for these ideas to sink in, and I know that can be frustrating, especially if you're going through a tough time right now. So if as you're listening, you're thinking, okay, but how do I do that? How do I actually make this work for me? Then we should chat. I've started taking on a handful of coaching clients. We'll work one-on-one to help you apply these strategies to whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. You'll start to feel calmer, more confident, and more in control as you go about each day. So if that's you, head over to thejoywithin.org to schedule a free call. Otherwise, back to the show. So the frame I like to use is that every moment starts fresh. Every moment is completely 100% new. Like I said, I think this time of year is perfect for this because it's a natural cadence of, well, I've gotten to this point and maybe it's been harder than I thought, but now I can drive towards the end of the year. Now I can reset. But what we don't realize is that we can do that in each and every moment. Imagine how you would feel if this dream that you have, and maybe it's a goal that you've had for years, and you can't help but think, man, I can't believe this still hasn't happened. I can't believe I'm still not further along. Imagine how different it would feel if today, right now, were day one. You'd be more optimistic and enthusiastic about it. You'd feel more certain about it. And you wouldn't ever expect yourself to be there already. You know that something can't happen before it happens. You can't do it before you've done it, right? No. You would think, okay, so I have this goal, and this is where I am, and these are the resources that I have. And there wouldn't be any weight attached to that. There wouldn't be any sense of beating yourself up or judging yourself in any way. You're starting wherever it is you're starting. This moment is fresh. The second pillar, which goes along with this, is that, quite simply, we do not know how things will work out. We like to think that we do. We like to think that we can plan and predict and put everything into its place. But we can't. And often, when we start fresh with a new goal, part of that feeling of just starting is not knowing, or I should say, not needing to know how every detail is going to pan out. But somehow, when we get into the thick of it, we start to believe that we know it all, and we start to judge our progress by what the mind believes should or should not be happening now. We think things like, oh, I didn't do as much work as I should have today, rather than trust that, actually, I don't know what needs to happen today. I never know what needs to happen when, and that's okay. That's not my job. All I can ever do is move forward from where I am. Doing this requires trust. It requires a sense of certainty, a knowingness that I am always exactly where I am meant to be, even if I don't know how or why. For me, I like to think of this as the pull of the calling, the pull of the dream, that the thing that I feel excited about has its own sort of inertia, and that future state is just pulling me forward, drawing me closer into it. All I have to do is stop resisting it, and I get pulled along more effortlessly. And often, that happens in ways that I could not have conceived of on my own. There is so much humility in this, but I am convinced of it over and over again. The thing is done, and I do not know how. I do not know when. My job isn't so much to create it, to build it, to arrogantly try to force it into existence, but rather to flow, to get out of the way, and to let what already is express itself through me. I don't know how else to describe it. We already are the dreams that we have of ourselves. Our process, the actions that we take, simply unveil those dreams. We only interrupt it when we doubt our own timing, when we doubt our own experiences or our own abilities along the way. So that's the mental frame I use. What is past energy, and I don't know what it's supposed to look like anyway, so it doesn't matter. Practically, though, it is natural that we look at the world around us and we have an emotional response to it. And I know I don't always feel on point. I'm not always in that mindset. So the technique that I use to re-energize and to re-engage when I have an off day or when I let my circumstances wear me down is to take time, always, to build momentum behind the idea of the dream. I just sit with the idea. That's it. I play it out in my mind. I imagine into it as best I can. And while I try to do this as vividly as I can in the moment, I don't get bogged down in the details, because it's not the details of the vision that matter. It's not like you're trying to force one specific outcome. It's the energy behind it. I don't want to get into any specific techniques for imagination or visualization or appreciation or anything like that today, because it's not about the technique. It's about the practice, the mechanism of what's at play within it. I have come to believe more and more strongly over time that the vision we hold for ourselves is not about the things that we imagine. By which I mean, I don't think that we can create a single, super specific visualization and then just assume that that's exactly the way things will work out. And I think doing that can often put us on a negative path, puts us on the back foot. Because, at least for me, what I always end up doing, if I have a really specific visualization, like a really specific idea of how I think things should unfold, it makes me keep turning back and forth. Like, here's my vision. Has it happened yet? Oh, no, it hasn't. Okay. Here's my vision again. Has it happened now? Oh, no, still not. I ping pong back and forth like that, and it reinforces the lack rather than the momentum. And that is super draining. So instead, I've come to think of the vision I hold of myself as essential because it creates the state of being that I want to embody. So it becomes more like, here's my vision. How can I step into this vision today? How can I become that person, given where I am right now? Knowing that the specifics of that vision are just symbols. They're not facts. I want the symbol of having achieved this. I want the symbol of being able to do that. It's about who I have to become in the process. And it is much, much easier to align with that symbol than it is to force the details of some, let's be honest, quasi-random circumstance that my mind has just made up. So all I do is I turn my attention back to that symbol. I come back to the idea of feeling inspired and excited and on my way towards whatever that goal is. And as I remind myself of that symbol, I can step into the energy of it. I reinforce the feeling within myself, and then I just allow myself as best I can to move forward without assumptions, without self-judgment, just following, just flowing into that energy of being excited about it. Again, I believe we have to do this. I have spent so many years feeling stressed out by my goals, feeling bogged down by them, beating myself up because I was disappointed that something didn't turn out the way that I thought it should. I've been through all of it, and it does nothing but reinforce the feeling of lack, or ineptitude, or victimization, or just hanging in there, just getting through the day. And no one deserves that. We all deserve better, and it is 100% our choice. It is our choice to feel inspired. It is our choice to focus on what excites us each day, or to turn back and say, oh, no, here are 10 reasons that it's not going to work out. We're choosing that state. Always. It doesn't feel like it, but we are. And we have to own that for ourselves because no one will do it for you. You have to be the one to take the time to draw yourself into that state that you want to experience today. And when you do, everything starts to feel easier. You start to feel more alive, more on point, and you start to truly own the person that you know you are meant to be. So that's it for today. I hope this has been helpful. If you want to go deeper, if you want to work with me to sort out how you can start to implement this and apply it for yourself, given where you are today, given the challenges that you're up against today, then we should chat. I do work one-on-one with a handful of clients to help you tap into that drive, that passion, and shake off the doubts and stress and negativity that comes up along the way. So if that's you, just head over to thejoywithin.org to schedule a free call with me. And if not, then please just take action on what I've talked about here today. Do whatever it takes to convince yourself that you're worthy, that you deserve to feel on fire every single day of your life. Because now more than ever, our world needs people who are inspired. We don't need anyone to just get up and trudge along each day. We don't need you to hang in there. We need you to light up. And you need to convince yourself that that is possible for you. So know that I love you and I appreciate you wherever you are. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to The Joy Within. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please do what you can to spread the word. I believe that we all deserve to feel calm, confident, and happy literally every single day. But with everything that's going on in the world, we need to work together to remind ourselves of that in as many little ways as we can. So please, pass this along to the people you care about. Email a friend, share it on social, do whatever feels right for you, so that hopefully, together, we can create a little more peace in our crazy modern world.